Get in the cart.
Right at us.
Fore!
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this one.
This is Party of Fore, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back into the Party of Fore podcast here at Mistwood Golf Club. I'm your host, Ben Hutchison, alongside Andy Michelson. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I want to get on the golf course soon.
You look pretty bummed out.
I am pretty bummed out. It's no real smiling faces around here. It's pretty empty. Just people walking their dogs. We need some golf. We need it fast.
And we are properly socially distanced, more than 6 feet apart. That's why we have the two cameras. Well, let's get right to our premier guest of the day, Senior Vice President Callaway in Odyssey Golf, Sean Toulon. You know a thing or two about putters. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, guys. How are you?
Real good. Real good.
Yeah, you've been a friend of Mistwood for quite some time. How are you getting through this quarantine right now?
Okay. I'm a pretty hyper guy to begin with, so getting locked down is interesting. But we've got tons to do. We've got a lot of work going on, and I'm only six minutes from the office, so we sneak in once in a while to look at some products that are being made and stuff that comes in. So we're staying busy. I'm ready for it to end.
And we've seen Tony on the guitar. Do you ever jump in with the music sessions?
You want no part of music.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you were just saying. Does this kind of hamper or get in the way of any type of innovation going into 2021, 2022, that type of stuff?
I think not for us. I think for smaller companies it will.
Sure.
But thankfully, we're blessed with the success that we've had over the years and the investments that we've made back into the business. So, feeling great if we ever get started with what we've got.
Yeah, I mean, for us, I feel like there's a palpable, especially in the state of Illinois, there's a palpable feeling by everyone just ready to just get released. I mean, everyone wants to get out there and play some golf, and even if it's in its most minimal form, we're just chomping at the bit
right.
to get going. I know there's maybe half the states right now are actually able to play golf at this point. So, hopefully we can start reasonably getting back on the golf course in the next couple of weeks. I mean, for everybody's sake, for the manufacturer's sakes, for the retailer's sake, for the pro shops. I mean, this is serious stuff right now.
Yeah, it really is. I feel for you guys. And I talked with Mark Timms this morning, who's just a wonderful retailer, owns Cool Clubs in Scottsdale. And, you think about that. I mean, they're closed down right now. And by the time we get open, which, feels like it's going to be, who knows, hopefully sometime in May, but maybe June 1st, it'll be 123 degrees when they open. So he's missed everything. So that's too bad. But anyways, let's just hope and pray and everybody gets through this we get through this and we get playing some golf.
We saw you at the PGA show, and we saw the wonderful line of triple track putters. How long did it take you guys to design that?
Do you know the answer to that question?
Yeah. I think we do. I just want to share with our listeners.
Well, it took a long time for a group from St. Louis to come up with the idea for the golf ball. And the golf ball with the three lines. I think if you look at it, you'd say, well, it's a ball with three lines. That's, whatever, right? But there's a real interesting science that's going on with that golf ball called vernier acuity. And it really is the way that your eyes and your brain work together to recognize a pattern and be able to see alignment in different ways. Much improved over no line at all, as you might imagine, but I got 30% improvement over one line. So when we had a meeting back in Carlsbad with this group that had that owned the technology that we were interested in licensing it, and so we were up in Chip's office and we decided we were going to do it. And as I was walking down to my office, which is about I'd say a 50-second walk, I called Aussie Rollinson and Luke Williams, both guys that I work with on the Odyssey team. Said, Aussie, bring a 2-ball head. Luke, bring 2 Sharpies and a ruler, and meet me in my office. And literally in 45 seconds, I had drawn the triple track on the putter, and we were ready to go.
That's like the greatest story ever, and it could be one of literally the most impactful putter designs since the 2-ball. And you guys did it in 45 seconds. I truly believe that's going to be one of the, unfortunately with obviously how this year started, but I think it's, in talking to, different folks that are, very passionate about putting, different instructors and things, I think this is as much of a game changer literally as the 2-ball. I think it's one of the biggest innovations in the last 20 years as far as, alignment goes and everything else.
I couldn't agree more, Andy. I did a podcast with a golf professional from South Florida, David Armitage. I'm sure you know him.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful teacher, and he said the same things. It's just, it's totally revolutionized the way he's teaching, and the results that he's seeing with his students have been great. So I think we're going to see that. I saw it when I was with you guys at Mistwood, doing all those putter fittings this summer. That's really where we started working with the ball a lot. And then I came back, and I remember telling Chip, this triple track putter and ball combination is just going to blow people away because it's such a need. Almost nobody aligns well. And when I say they don't align well, I'm being very polite, because what I should be saying is they're horrible at alignment. And it's not just
horrific. I'll back you up on that. Horrific. Yeah, horrific. I agree.
Yeah, and what this does, you guys, is it gives the golfer a process, and that they can get up over a putt and do things the same way, and it gives them a really good guidepost. And I think from there, the improvement just happens so quickly. And I saw it working with the golfers at Mistwood, and I just think you guys are going to have a lot of fun once we get on the greens and start really working with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sean, I think we see so many of the premier good golfers out there use these types of things. But for me, who's probably a 12, 13 handicap, this could dramatically change my game for the positive as well.
Oh, gosh, without question. I think it's, when you look at how we can improve our game, it would not be, when you think about your 13 handicap, how many times do you 3-putt in a round? It's a lot, right?
Absolutely.
And then you think of a tour player, they might go 72 holes with maybe 0 or 1 or 2. And if we can help them a little bit, that's a lot. But for us, we can improve, 3 or 4 shots in 18 holes. That's massive. And I think we're really going to see that. And, the only drawback that people, when they see it, they think it takes a long time to line it up. And I, not really tongue in cheek, say it takes a lot less time to 1-putt or 2-putt than it does to 3-putt.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's hop into Maverick. What's got you guys excited about that?
Well, number one, I would say the ball speed and the gains there are very real. And I would say Maverick got off to a good start, not a great start. We were a little bit late this year getting parts to our tour players, but as we started to get the clubs in the bag of professionals, and then people started going out and getting fitted as they do now with all the things that you offer at Mistwood, all the diagnostic equipment, and getting to see the ball speed gains and the consistency really of the spin rate across the face. Our sales were just skyrocketing. So we went from, doing really well out of the gate to being a dominant number one right before the whistle blew. So,
right.
And that's all based on performance. We're excited about that. And then on top of all of that, Andy, the sound and the feel of this driver is just so good, which I think has really been something that, we felt like we could improve upon. And I think with this, we did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What are you most looking forward to once we can really get back into things and things return to normal?
I just can't wait for people to get outside. And, growing up in the Midwest like you guys, I'll never forget the first day in March. There's still snow on the ground when all of a sudden something happened and it was 67 degrees and people were basically walking around downtown Madison naked, so excited about being outside. And then when all the snow melted and you could get out there and play golf, I mean, it was just such a liberating feeling. And, to have that taken away right now, granted, it's still early, very early in the season. So if we can get out there in May, I know we like to play in April. The weather's usually not all that great, but in May and June, it starts to be fantastic. So just getting out and spending time with all of our friends, I think is something that we all are really longing to experience again.
Sean, you've been a great friend of Mistwood, and we can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you hopefully sometime in June.
Awesome.
Sean Toulon, I could talk to him all day. What a nice guy, and he's happy to share all of his knowledge with everyone else.
Yeah, he's awesome. I've known Sean for 6 years now, and the passion that he has for product is unmatched in the industry. It's so infectious. When you talk to Sean about the newest and latest and greatest product coming out, he has that same vibe that you have as a consumer, right? Like, oh man, I can't wait to hit that new this or new that. He is that same guy. I mean, he's been in the business now for over 25 years. He's been with various companies, leaders in the industry, and every time a new product comes out, he is just giddy as can be, and that is infectious, and that's why he's one of my favorites in the business.
And always willing to talk to us. So let's talk about Mistwood and what's happening here. I know you've had a lot of the pros, the maintenance staff out there. We're still getting ready for golf.
Yeah, we're still getting ready for golf. The focus has been, even as we talked about in the last podcast, the focus has been on the 30th of April. So, we're still under that assumption that we're okay to play golf on May 1st, and everything we're doing operationally is centered around that. On the golf course, we're doing all the maintenance. The course looks phenomenal. Greens are in great shape. The fairways are in great shape. Divots are filled. Ball marks are all healed and fixed, and the course is in really fabulous shape. And then on the operations side, we're going through all of the little things to ensure that we open in a very safe environment. We haven't got from the governor's office or the Allied Golf Associations of Illinois, we haven't gotten clear guidance yet on what our opening, either the date is going to be for sure or what type of guidelines we have to open under. But we're running through a couple of different scenarios of what it has to be, ultimately to make sure that the customer is as safe as possible and our staff is as safe as possible. It may be with carts, it may be walking only. Things like in the original provision, the pro shop was closed because it was part of the clubhouse. Will the pro shop be open in the new provision? And if so, how does the pro shop need to look? And if not, can we sell goods kind of like a sidewalk sale out in front of the pro shop? There's a lot of different things that we have to consider from an operations standpoint that makes it a little bit more complicated than other seasons going into it. Junior lessons, now that school is canceled through the end of May, how does that work? And all of those different things that we have to get a little bit more guidance from, and we're waiting on a little bit more guidance from, but things that we're prepared for, things that we're going to have to adjust to. It's really, I know the president didn't want to say that we have to get used to a new normal, but for golf in 2020, it's going to be a new normal. Hopefully it's gone by 2021 and we can do all our same events at the same timing and everything else. I mean, events, for instance. I mean, some of our best events happen during the summer or even early in the year. When you talk about either member events or the outside events, the Stars and Stripes, I mean, that's a legacy event we've had for over 20 years. And, can we have that? Is it responsible to have that many people in the same spot 2 months from now? I would think so, but, this is where we just need some more guidance, but we're preparing for all of those situations accordingly.
I think everyone just misses what happens at Mistwood this time of year, whether it's the weddings or the private events or just seeing the golfers out there enjoying the game that we all love. So that's been kind of hard for everyone.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, a day that I really enjoy every year, and most people would think, really, is the member orientation day. So we normally would have had that actually last Saturday, the 18th. And it was kind of a bummer. Instead, I'm in my yard raking leaves and hammering in my fence, where normally I would have 25, 30 different people looking at us, excited about getting the year going. These are a lot of new members, and just the excitement there, that's always so palpable, and we try and make that day as special as possible, and it's a lot of fun for us to put on. Didn't happen. So like things like that will get pushed back. Do we even have it? Is it responsible to have that type of gathering? You know, all those things we have to have a consideration over.
And I know you actually did a little bit of a research mission. You headed over state lines.
Yeah, I won't specify the golf course or the state, but honestly, I wanted to play a round of golf under what I think the provisions will be as we open. So I did go play a round of golf. It was a foursome of golf. It was walking only. And I scrutinized the entire round. I was looking at all the opportunities that, were out there to actually not be responsible social distancing. And honestly, I couldn't find it. You know, when you're on the green, there's virtually no time that you're within 6 feet of each other because your putts are coming from different angles. We did play inside of 4 feet with skimmies. So those are the types of things you can pick that ball up. This particular course went with a foam pool noodle in the cups. Worked just fine. The ball actually would enter the cup. If it was at the appropriate speed, it would enter the cup. It would stay in the cup, but at least half of the golf ball was exposed. So at no time was I touching the grass, the rim of the cup, or the pin. I was only touching the golf ball, pulling that out of the hole. As far as tees go, garbage cans, rakes, and bunkers, this course had removed all of those things, and those were some of the things that we were talking about removing and under the last order that we had when we were looking to open on the 27th of March. So literally from start to finish, this course did it extremely responsibly. And it was fine. Honestly, it was a nice walk. I'm beat. It was a lot of exercise. I actually did that today. It was just nice. It was nice to get out. And as I said before, and we had a nice article written in the Daily Herald kind of making the case for golf and a couple nice quotes. I truly believe as much physical, there's also that huge mental component to it too. I mean, to get out of the house and play golf was just awesome. It felt great. It was probably the best I've felt in months. I mean, I love being around my kids. I love being around my wife, but I love being on the golf course too. And there's something to that, not only for me, but there's millions of people in Illinois that are either sitting at home or unfortunately having to cross the borders right now to play safe golf. But as far as, the states surrounding us, I've heard only very good preparation plans being done, and it seems like they're presenting a pretty safe product out there for golf. And Minnesota, I think it opened on Saturday. Wisconsin's opening this Friday on the 24th. Indiana's been open this whole time, presenting very responsible golf. Not to mention probably having their best April they've ever had, because of so many Illinoisans going across the border to play golf. I really have nothing negative to say about my experience. I thought it was very, very responsibly done and a very good role model for what Illinois can do going forward. I mean, we were very socially distanced. I think the tee time intervals were 15 minutes. So you're literally not within 300 yards of the next group. And it was really, really well done.
It is very interesting. And I think one thing is certain. We all miss golf, and someone that conveyed that extremely well, our Superintendent Ben Kelnhofer. I want to show you his message to the golfers out there.
We miss golf just like you do. There's something special about waking up with the birds. The sound of sunrise. aglow over the greens. In a world where routines are off, our lines remain precise. Mowers meticulously move fairway to fairway. While we prepare the course for play, you're at home, mapping out your strategy. What yardage, which club. You want to see the ball fly towards the pen. So do we. That feeling, that memory, that shot to tell your friends about. It's here. It just hasn't happened yet. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you when golf returns.
The feels, they're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's hope golf is right around the corner. For the PGA, they just announced the weekend of June 11th, their first event back, no spectators.
Yeah, no spectators, I think, for the first 4 events, right? I think this is great. I mean, golf can be done, as we've talked about, on a local level. Golf can be done in a very responsible way. Interesting thing will be how they treat the flag sticks. I mean, I know that's a huge sticking point in this whole thing as far as contact goes. There really shouldn't be any other contact points that I can think of that would be a problem. Would be the cups and the pins. Obviously, they're not going to open with foam noodles in the cups. There's a little bit too much money on the line, but I'm sure there's going to be some type of measure to make sure that they're being responsible and sanitizing and such. Interesting that they're starting in Texas, which doesn't seem to be as hard hit as places like us in Illinois. It's also going to be a lot warmer down there, in the 85, 90 degree range. So possibly, obviously, the virus will be tapering off pretty significantly by then. So hopefully it can kind of look like a pretty normal tour event.
And I know they're one of the first, if not the first, major sport to announce when they'll be trying to come back. I know baseball said we're going to do an abbreviated spring training and try to work into it over a 2-week period, but it'll be nice to see some sports on TV. I know we both watched The Last Dance and the Bulls.
Oh, that was great.
A little sidetrack, but amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, some of the stuff you forget about as a kid. I was 15 at the time, when this whole thing happened, 15, 16 at the time. So I really wasn't as interested in the Bulls as much as I was girls and such. So so you're seeing some stuff that maybe you missed as a kid, but so cool. And just the fact that you're getting the raw emotions of the players and such. I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to probably go back and watch episode 1 and 2.
One of the parts, which I might totally be nerding out about, was the golf portions of it. He golfed with Danny Ainge, who they're playing in the playoffs the night before a playoff game. And who knows, just those, he's mic'd up. Are they throwing money around, the bets, the trash talk? I want to see all that video.
Yeah, Jordan's a legend for having crazy bets out there. I mean, he was not playing unless there was juice on the line. I mean, he was notorious for that stuff. And how about the story where he bought Scottie Pippen a set of clubs when he first came to the team, and Scottie Pippen basically thought that he was buying them so that then he could get better at golf to then have to bet against Michael Jordan? I thought that was pretty funny.
So many great storylines in there. Well, we started a new segment last podcast called Get to Know a Pro. This week, Mr. Dan Phillips, who's been with Mistwood for a really long time, since before the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's listen to his Get to Know a Pro. Hey, everyone, another round of Get to Know a Pro, this time with Director of Teaching and Player Development, Dan Phillips. How are you?
Great. Well, great as I can be the way things are going, but it's a nice day today. We'd love to be playing golf, but it's this is something we have to do to keep everybody safe, and I understand it, and God bless us all. We're working hard to keep everybody safe, and anything we can help to keep you in good spirits is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been at Mistwood since before the beginning. Just what's so special about it?
Mistwood, when we opened it, we did some things pretty well, but when Jim took over, Mr. McGuethy, that's when everything really started to flourish and move. And it's a combination of the owner and the beautiful things that he's done for us. I mean, the clubhouse, what he's done to the golf course, just the rock work. I mean, everything that he's done, he's given us the tools to have the most amazing place that you can imagine. It's kind of like a Disneyland for golf, you know, and then you add that with the people, and it's the people that we have, our members and the people that come out and play are just incredibly nice people who really love the game of golf. And that tells from even the teaching, you know, because I get to meet these people, you know, the players here and our members and everyone. I get to know them through teaching, but also just seeing them come into the golf course and being able to talk to them. And I think they seem to appreciate it as much as we do. And then you put our staff together, and it's an incredible staff, and all the way up from the people who are running this place now, you know, our general managers and director of golf. I mean, they started working in the trenches here when they were younger, like, you know, in high school and that, and now they're just running the place, and they know it. I mean, they know it from ground up to the top. So when you have a bag kid or a beverage cart or anything, I mean, they know about it. They've done it, you know, they've seen it, and they just get it, you know, and it makes me proud of being at a place that, you know, I've been at for 22 years, and I'm proud of everything that's happened here. I'm proud of what Jim has done. I'm proud of what our staff has done. And when a member or a guest or anyone comes out and plays the golf course, and to see the smile on their face and to see how much they're enjoying themselves, I mean, that's the payoff. Right there's the payoff for me.
And can't wait to get back to that point too. So you're passionate. What do you love about teaching?
Wow. Yeah, that lights me up. Teaching lights me up. It's the reason why I got into business to begin with. I started late. I mean, I started my first lesson, I was 24. Before that, I was playing baseball in college and semi-pro and all that stuff. But then took my first lesson at 24 and turned pro at 31. And the reason behind it was just a love of the game, but also a love of the golf swing. I mean, it's to me, it's like the ultimate puzzle to figure out, you know, because everybody's different and not everybody swings the same way. So when you can get someone to hit a golf ball that they hit it on a sweet spot and they turn around and take a look at you, and the look on their face of doing something that they never thought they physically could is the most amazing feeling you'll ever have.
I would agree with that. I've probably been there before after taking a couple
Yeah, you have.
For sure. So do you have a proud golf accomplishment, whether it is seeing someone's face light up or just personally?
You know, I've lived through my students. I really have. I've always been the one that I'd rather have a student shoot 64 than myself shoot 64, or 62 or 78 or whatever it is. I mean, I've had kids go downstate. You know, I've had kids in college. I teach professionals. I've had the opportunity to teach some of the best players and someone who's never picked up a golf club before. So it's tough. I mean, you live with their accomplishments, and sometimes you know, when they're not playing as well and stuff, it hurts you, it hits you, you know, and you just really want them to enjoy the game, have fun with the game, and being able to accomplish something that I think hopefully deep down they know they can do. And if they don't, I want to make sure they know that. I want to make sure they know that they can do and be anything in this game with, some lessons and some practice, but it's all possible.
Any shot that sticks out to you, whether it's in competition or just playing with friends?
I've been able now, I mean, my son is he just graduated high school. He played some high school golf, and I've really enjoyed playing golf with him. And for some reason, when I play golf with him, I just light it up. I don't know why. Maybe just something, but now I'll be under par. I'm with him. The rest of the day, I mean, we have 78, 79, 80, something. I play with him, boom, I'm 2-3 under. I was a little over 300 yards on a par 5 coming in. and I took out my 3-wood and I hit it green high, just off the green. So I hit this 3-wood, basically 300, maybe a little over 300 yards. I don't know, maybe the sprinkler head, whatever. But oh my gosh, just seeing him see this, it's like, I'm 60 years old and it's like, hey, Dad's still a superhero, He can still do some things that other people can't. So that was pretty cool.
That is a special moment. Best club in the bag. Is there one that you really you love?
It's one of those things that I never want to have a club that I consider to be my favorite, because I want all of them to be my favorite. I want my 3-wood to be my favorite, I want my driver to be my favorite, I want my putter to be my favorite. Because I don't ever want to pick up a club and go, oh, really? Well, it's a 3-iron, it's a 5-iron. No, I really don't hit that well. So I know maybe it's just my teacher thing too, but I want every club to be my favorite club in the bag.
All right, we'll accept it. Hey, favorite hole at Mistwood?
I'd say 15. Par 5, surround the lake. The drive there is it's risk reward and how much you want to cut off. And if you hit it over, I don't care how good you are or not, but when you hit it over, you're still going to feel great. There's still, you could play a million rounds of golf. You could be a pro. You can be whatever. But when you hit it over there's just a great feeling. And sometimes you don't. The second shot is one of the toughest approach shots you'll ever see in golf. You don't have a lot of room. If you lay up, there's not a lot of room. There's more room if you try and go further to the green. There's more room. It opens up. But now you've got 3-wood in your hands, 3-iron, something like that. So the risk reward there is just, it's amazing. Then you're a wedge in, or, if you play it right and you get lucky, sometimes you can reach it in 2. I have eagled that hole many times, and I have put the old ball in the pocket many a times and saying, I'm going to 16 now. So the risk reward and it's kind of exciting. You make that turn, you get into the 15, and some people starts at 13, some 14, some 12. 15 really starts to like, oh my gosh, this is where it's happening right here.
It's an adventure every single time. I love talking golf with you. I love golfing with you. Hopefully we can do that sooner than later. Thanks for joining me, Dan.
You got it. Stay safe, everyone, and hope to see you all soon.
It's so much fun to just talk with the golf pros here. There's so many stories, so much golf love.
Yeah.
And you've known Dan a long time.
Yeah, I've known Dan now for 22 years, and there is, we talked about the passion with Sean Toulon. Dan Phillips is every bit as passionate when it comes to golf swing. He wants to see every student get better. He grinds over it like, I want to make sure that student gets better each and every single time. I love to talk to Dan about my own golf swing. He is such a student of the game, and just, again, that passion is infectious. And he'll love to talk golf swing. You ever want to talk golf swing? Dan Phillips is your guy. I might be 1A, but Dan Phillips is definitely your guy.
Just make sure you have an hour. Because he's going to talk, and it's going to be all stuff you're going to need to know, but it'll take some time. And so now with golf, we're hoping it's around the corner. We'll keep everyone posted as things progress, hopefully, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a heck of a season whenever we get going.
Absolutely. You guys will know when we know.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Get in the cart.
Right at us.
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this week.
This is Party of Four, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast.